Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. Guys, you know what? I wanted to talk a bit about the fight. I'm very disappointed about yesterday. I still can't get over it. I can't get over the fact that it was meant to be a super fight. Very few super fights. I mean, Pacquiao Mayweather comes to mind. But recently, very few super fights have failed to deliver. They've been very good. This was shit, I thought. I'm honestly, I'll just be honest with you guys. I thought this was terrible watch. I thought I was disappointed. Even today, like I waking up and, I was busy today. But it was just like, wow, this was terrible. I mean, I thought it was a crap fight, and it just didn't impress me whatsoever. And I'm left a bit gutted, a bit disappointed that this is a fight that we wanted to see for so long. And it really didn't deliver. I mean, I don't think it moved the needle in any way. It was quite an anticlimax, really. I mean, it was just very poor. But one thing I want to touch on is actually people are saying that did Ryan Garcia quit in the fight? And what I want to say is that there's a lot of uneducated people that don't have a clue about boxing. I mean, a body shot is something. It's my mate South Central. He loves it. He loves whenever I make a comment, he loves, oh, Imran, you casual, this, that, the other. Let me explain certain things to you, right? You said Ryan's tough, but he quit, this, that, the other. Firstly, let me point this out, right? When you get hit with a body shot, you're not quitting. You just can't do it. I've been hit with body shots. I've been kicked. When I was at school, I remember this. I was kicked in the body by a girl. And I promised to God I could not breathe. She kicked me so hard in my solar plexus. I'm telling you now, I could not breathe, and I still remember that, how bad it was. And I didn't flinch. I didn't. And so why? Because I didn't want to make, I didn't want everyone to see and make myself look like a complete idiot. But I'm telling you now, I was struggling to breathe. It was so painful. Not painful, just like it sucked the life out of me. Right? And imagine getting punched by a professional fighter. I know Ryan's a professional as well, and obviously they're used to taking shots. But imagine getting hit in the solar plexus by Gervonta Davis, who's one of the hardest pound for pound punchers in the boxing, in the solar plexus. And you clearly saw Ryan Garcia try to go on, and it was like a delayed reaction. And that's generally what it is with body shots. A lot of body shots, you see fighters have a delayed reaction because it kicks in and you just, you can't do anything. You think that's quitting. No, you literally can't move. You can't breathe. It's that bad. And 10 seconds aren't enough to get that out. Like, I'm not surprised, right? He just couldn't get up. Of course, look, Ryan Garcia could have, after the second round, Ryan Garcia kept coming forward. He approached the fight in completely. Firstly, I don't think he has that kind of skill. I think Davis's skill level is far greater than his. But his tactics were, he was pressuring Tank, and he was doing what Tank wanted him to do. I mean, yeah, very poor performance, I thought, from Garcia. Very poor. But in terms of him quitting, he never quit in that fight. He got hit with a body shot. He wasn't able to recover. And that was that. It has nothing to do with the fact that he quit or this, that, the other. I mean, people do talk a lot of nonsense. I mean, no way he quit in that fight. He got caught with a big shot. That's it. And that was it. Ryan Garcia, unfortunately, doesn't have that ability. He doesn't have the ability Tank has. He's not naturally as tough as Tank. He's not as skilled as Gervonta. And that's why Gervonta and his team was look, Gervonta's team, right? They've not been willing to put Gervonta in there with anybody, really. I mean, when you think about it, he's been well managed, right? And Gervonta, Haney's wanted that fight. Shakur won that fight. But they don't want, they know who to keep him away from. They've kept him away from Lomachenko as well. And who knows, maybe now they might be more interested in that fight because Lomachenko's kind of, let's see what happens with him and Haney. But they're not really pushing Tank towards those fights because they know it's a different kettle of fish. However, they were very keen on making the Ryan fight because they clearly saw that Ryan's a green. There's a lot of weaknesses in his game. And Tank was always the favorite in that fight. It wasn't like Ryan had a threat, but we always viewed Tank as a favorite. And basically, that's why it was strategical, because they knew that fight would make him a lot of money. It'd be a massive fight, and it's probably the easiest fight out of the lot. So it made sense for Tank to have that fight. And also, people won't still keep saying, well, Tank's fought nobody, because Ryan Garcia is seen as a big name and somebody that was a threat to Tank. So they knew that it was a very well calculated risk from their part. You know, they'll say it wasn't even a risk. Or in their mind, it wasn't a risk. You know, it definitely didn't turn out to be a risk because it was so easy for Davis. You know, so yeah, that's my take. But, you know, I hear people say, like, giving Ryan a lot of criticism. You know, look, we were just disappointed. Me and my brother were just disappointed yesterday. We just thought, wow, this was poor. You know, we expected a lot more from Ryan Garcia. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. And I think a lot of people were like that. I think a lot of people were dejected because they didn't really think the fight lived up to what it was. I think it was a pretty poor performance from Garcia, to be honest with you. He looked quite clueless in there at times. You know, I felt like he was just playing into Tank's hands. He basically, for me, did what Rolly did. He did exactly the same thing. If you look at it, Tank was doing exactly the same thing to Rolly. And so very disappointing, very, very disappointing. I expected a much more competitive, better fight than what we got. And we got really a poor fight, really. But yeah, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Did Ryan quit in that fight? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.